La vie est un grand voyage, j'ai envie de vivre et lire, délivrer de ces illusions, ce que toi et moi vivions. La vie est un grand voyage.
I appreciate the opportunity to share the Coco Republic case study, especially with regards to our journey with outsourcing to Fiji. I'm the head of customer service for Coco Republic. My responsibilities mostly relate to the after sales responsibilities with regards to Coco Republic. From a history perspective, Coco Republic is a high-end aspirational furniture brand that's been evolving from some very humble Australian beginnings back in 1979 as a family company. Only recently has that become an international brand. We have 15 stores across Australia and New Zealand, and recently we opened a store in the US, which is in the California region, and there are plans to open more stores within the US region as well. Just to give an understanding of who we are, and you may get a little bit of that from the backgrounds that I'm going to share with you today, but you don't actually shop in a store with Coco Republic. And I know a lot of this is about language, but you visit a showroom. And you don't shop at Coco, you have an experience with Coco. And that's the intent with regards to how we manage our customer service. So we have dedicated design professionals that help you navigate the way through the showrooms. And their intention is to find those sought after pieces that make a statement in your home. So while visiting a showroom, we provide you with coffee, snacks, cakes, etc., which are usually from our in-house cafe, so that the whole, I'm going to use that word, shopping experience is a genuine experience. The challenge itself was really quite simple. We were struggling to translate the showroom experience into an after sales experience. So what you saw in the showroom, or how you participated in the showroom, was a very different experience after sale. Our deficiency was mostly associated with labour, and in particular not having the right labour. We needed resources, we needed the right resources, and we needed the resources fairly quickly. We also had to think outside the box in finding the staffing solutions. It wasn't a case of just sitting around a table and getting a new agency on board. We'd exhausted most of the agencies, we'd exhausted most of the channels by which you would normally resource labour. So we needed to find a group of people that had the same degree of passion that we had with regards to customer service. So we're looking for people that had that customer service gene, and that could really take that customer experience from the showroom and translate that into our after sales customer service. So in considering where we were at, we had to consider many different locations, many different regions. And in our research, we didn't just go straight to CDM, of course. We did our due diligence and went to many other organisations as well in searching for those different organisations. But we did come across CDM, and we came across Fiji, and it was a very, I'm going to say, pleasant surprise. It wasn't something that was on my radar. It was certainly something that came to me as a left field choice, and was therefore very much outside of the box, which is where I suppose our thinking was aiming towards anyway. And in Fiji, English is one of the primary languages. It's one of the primary language for business, government, the education sector. The accent from the Fijian people is a very neutral accent. So it doesn't carry that negative stigma that would often be the case when you're dealing with a call centre in the likes of the Philippines or India or somewhere of that nature. When we started looking into Fiji, we started getting very excited about the potential pool of candidates that we could draw on to solve this challenge that we were experiencing. We needed a location that wasn't restrictive for us to train or to manage the team, and that was probably two main areas. One was the internet quality, so that was very important, as well as the time zone. Fiji is only about 4 to 4.5 hours flying time from Sydney, It doesn't require any visas or restrictions to enter the country, so it was also very simple and very easy that should we need to make a visit, we could do so quite easily and readily. It's also a very relaxing place to take advantage of the local culture, and I did have the very great opportunities to take advantage of a day or so before flying back home when I did my initial visit as well. One of the other major considerations, and I did touch on it earlier, was with relation to the budget and the pricing. So cost is significantly lower, and that was one of the attractive components, in addition to the ones I've mentioned before, is that we were in a position where we were able to budget up to 2 Fijian employees for the price of 1 Australian employee. Other regions did offer better pricing, and we were able to get that through the likes of Philippines, India, etc. But the quality wasn't there, and I mentioned it before about the accent and the stigma associated with some accents. And we made the commercial decision that in order for it to be fitting with our brand, the Fijian accent and the Fijian culture was very much aligned with where we needed to be, and therefore was something that we could outsource to. The average time from the point at which we identified a need for recruitment to the point at which we were onboarding was approximately 7 days. Team lead supervisors may have been a little bit longer, but as far as the normal headcount with regards to our customer service agents, it was approximately 7 days, give or take. I did briefly touch on the culture. So the culture within CDM and the candidates they provided was very similar to the culture within our Sydney team and our Sydney operation. And the teams have all been very respectful, very hardworking and very driven, which is the culture that we were looking for within our organisation. And the performance levels that we received from those team members actually lends itself to further growth within CDM. We actually found that in undertaking that project, the supervisors actually were outperforming some of our Sydney or Australian team members. So we've actually more than doubled our intended workforce within Fiji, because we were so pleasantly surprised with what we were seeing. And when we were managing attrition through our Sydney office, we were actually not even taking the opportunity to re-employ within Sydney. We were immediately going to Fiji, knowing that the quality of candidates were definitely what we required in Sydney or better. We've actually reduced the open caseload to a quarter. Anecdotally, we also are receiving very strong reports from our showrooms and our customers that they're also seeing the same reduction in noise to the same proportion. Our response times with regards to electronic emails or electronic means, we also found that actually reduced by a quarter as well, the response time. So that was a very promising outcome. And also the age to close inquiries. The age to close inquiries is halved. It wasn't quite at the same trajectory as being a quarter, but it's very promising to see that we actually halved those response times, those closure times. Overall, the whole process we see as being a resounding success, and our future strategic plans have been created with CDM in mind, and we see it as being a very long-term relationship, including both the front of house and the back office administration. But I thank you very much for your time. I appreciate the opportunity to share our case study,